Praise God, everybody. This is Trey G. Welcome to Chats with Trey. And today's message is going to be entitled The Cycle. So, a cycle, according to dictionary.com, is this: any complete round or series of occurrences that repeats or is repeated. A round of years or recurring period of time, especially one in which certain events or phenomena repeat themselves in the same order at the same intervals. Any long period of time or ages. A sequence, and this is one of physics, okay? A sequence of changing states upon a completion produces a final state identical to the original one. Mathematics definition: a permutation of a set of elements that leaves the original cyclic order of the elements in change. Now, I'm a civil engineer major. The circle. The circle is composed of four parts, four quadrants. The first quadrant goes from zero. 0 to pi over 2, to pi. Okay? Then it goes back down to negative pi over 2, then back to 0. So this is the top, side, bottom, side. The significance of what I'm saying is this: we live our lives many times in cycles. Let's look at the world, or the globe. The globe is a sphere, and it is a circle. It has a radius, and it rotates 360 degrees. Okay, it goes around and around. Now, when we talk about in the Bible of not being in this world, we talk about a significant part of not abiding in the same thing as others do. Okay, because we go around and around in a circle, which means that we have our high times and our low times. Back up to the high times and the low times, which means sometimes we're going to sin and sometimes we're not. And then sometimes we're going to be on fire for Christ and sometimes we're not. And things like this. It's an oscillation, okay? The key to residing on this earth and the cycle is this: don't abide in the cycle. Abide in the truth of God, that you may not be of the world that goes around and around in a continuous circle, a cyclic motion, okay? Don't be of the world, which means don't be of the cycle. And of course, when we're born into this world, we are all born in flesh, okay? And the flesh is unstable, much like emotion. We all must move. One thing about God, God is everlasting and He is always constant. We are not. We are in motion. And many times we are always going around and around in a circle. Emotion is this: the definition of motion is the action or process of moving or changing place or position. Okay? The power of movement as the living body. We are always moving. We are always moving. Our heart must beat in order for us to live. Emotion. We're always involved in motion. But I want to go to Ecclesiastes to really give us a clear understanding of this cycle. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 2 through 11, New Living Translation, it states, "Everything is meaningless," says the teacher. Completely meaningless, and this is Solomon talking. It says, "What do people get for all their hard work under the sun? Generations come and generations go, but the earth never changes. The sun rises and the sun sets, then hurries around to rise again. The wind blows south, then turns north. Around and around it goes." The cycle. Blowing in circles. Rivers run into the seas, but the sea is never full. Then the water returns again to the rivers and flows out again to the sea. The cycle. Everything is wearisome beyond description. No matter how much we see, we are never satisfied. We're never satisfied. The cycle. No matter how much we hear, we are not content. History merely repeats itself. It has all been done before. Nothing under the sun is truly new. Sometimes people say, here's something new, but actually it is old. Nothing is ever truly new. We don't remember what happened in the past. And in the future generations, no one will remember what we're doing now. So this sounds kind of discouraging, like no one is going to remember what you're doing, or if you're doing good things, nobody's really going to give you any type of, glory, praise and things like that. We shouldn't be looking for these things, though. We should not be looking for a continuous order in our lives. The best person, agree to disagree on chess with Trey. This is through my eyes. I feel that we should all be placed into different positions that would offset our cycle, to be able to be in the different areas and to go in different places to really see who we really are. Because we never can say what we ever would really do unless we've been really placed in this situation. Okay? We have, things may go wrong, and this is a person who never curses, never cusses, or anything like that. Things may go wrong on your car, and it just stops. You may just say, oh, you know what I'm saying? And you like, well, dang, unless you were ever placed in a position that would evoke any type of emotion or change within you, you would never know how you really deal with it. But when we go to school, and then we go to elementary school, that's a transition. Then we go to middle school, transition. Then you get more work to do in high school. Then you go to college, transition, because you're living on your own for the big universities and things like that. It's all the transition, and then you see how you really would act or really be like in a new position to abide in a new cycle. Okay? But the Lord calls for us to move straight. Okay? Now, half of a 360-degree motion is a straight line, which is 180 degrees. 180 degrees is a straight line. Okay? So, the Bible talks about in Ezekiel, when it gives us the descriptions of the four living beasts, and that what they did, they followed the spirit straight, not going to the right, to the left, or to the backwards. They always move straight. One thing about a cycle, you're going in all different types of directions. Sometimes you're going this way, that way, straight, all these things. The one thing about a cycle that's really interesting about a circle is just that you can only be you're always on a tangent. You're always trying to go straight, but you end up curving. Isn't that amazing? That's why we have tangents in mathematics and in engineering. What I do, we have tangents, and you may have a series of 180-degree lines that mark off these tangents that you can draw a circle from. A lot of times we're always trying to go straight, but that cycle keeps on bringing us back into the circle that we don't need to be in. We want to go on that tangent. We want to go on that straight 180 degrees. But that circle, that 360, okay, that's more of a tangent that you need. It wants to always bring you back into that portion of whatever it is. And this is something that we should not abide in, but understand it's real.